Thank you all so much for the encouragement and the love from last video that I ended up uploading. And man, I thought that was just amazing. Y'all really encouraged me, made me feel definitely a lot more better. But man, there's still a bunch of uncertainty, a bunch of, not knowing, the unknown, right? And I think that's probably the toughest thing for me in life right now is like, even if it wasn't for this web development, I feel like I would have always stumbled into this path because I've always had this where I just have a fear of not knowing. Like, that's why I used to never really think about, my future, because it literally would stress me out. Like, y'all, I'm stressed. Like, I keep having headaches, like migraines back to back to back, just because I'm so stressed about something that feels like, I can do so much now, but it feels like in a way like I have no control. And, I have to understand that kind of everybody has this feeling. I mean, sometimes there's things we get handed down. Some people might get an inheritance, some people might get a job because their family owns a business, right? So there's certain things in life people don't have to experience in that way, but I'm sure there's things even those people have to experience where it's like, man, like it's just uncertain. You want something, you don't know if you could get it, man. And I'm still currently feeling that way, but what I decided to do was, for one, I really wanted to leave my faith in God. I really started praying again more because I'm realizing that I'm definitely lacking faith in that area. I'm just so doubtful. Instead of being like, what, God got me, I'll find something, and just being like, I'll be guided down that path as long as I stay aligned, as long as I do what God wants me to do. Because in the end, it's about what He wants for me, not what I want for myself. And I got to be receptive to those things, because I can make this journey a lot more harder if I don't accept it, So for me, it's kind of like, I just kind of have to have some faith. But number two, I really want to at least plan out in a way what my next steps could be. And I think this is where it gets a lot more stressful and why I've been receiving so much more migraines and headaches, is because I'm thinking so much about which path should I go. And I feel like, before, something like cybersecurity, it felt certain. Everything else kind of feels uncertain right now. And there's certain things, a part of the journey, that I still plan on doing. And I feel like there's certain things I want to take out. So I kind of wanted to talk about my different paths that I could possibly go. I personally feel like, the number one path, which honestly is probably going to be the first thing I would want to do in general, but it can kind of vary in the end, it's going to be a lot to explain. But you already know that I wanted to study for this IT support, which I have a whole set of videos coming out for that soon, probably next week or the week after. But I wanted to study for this like IT support thing, and I've kind of been slacking, but I'm still considering that being something I want to achieve. Now, something I wanted to do is probably get into that job by January. And I'm like, maybe that would be better if I can land that position, probably still keep my current job, get the experience, and then, see where we go from there. There's another option where I can go with something a little bit more stable. That's probably like, it's going to take 4 months to kind of learn it and get into that career. Since there's 100% more stability, there's always overtime. And, there's even less time to work, more time at home to kind of study different stuff. I could just end up saying F it, stay at this job and study that way, right? So it's just a lot of different paths that I can go, man. And it's honestly one of the most stressful things. Like, I was stressed when, I was grieving the loss of like a dream. But man, like, I haven't been more stressed in my life just trying to figure out what do I want to do? What is my next steps forward? Because I'm realizing, I need to like live in the moment. I need to live every day by day. Like, I don't got to, sit here and already have it all figured out. But in a way, I just want like a path. I feel like that's like the one thing I can control in all of this is the path. How am I gonna get there? How am I gonna do it? And in the end, I feel like I've kind of made my decision that I want to try cybersecurity, but I'm realizing maybe I need something a little bit more stable now. By still considering doing cybersecurity, I think I might scratch the computer science degree. I'm not sure. There's just so many different things I could do. I could still get the degree. I could still not. I can get certifications. I could not. I could be self-taught, man. Like, it's just tough. And picking just which path would be more, I guess, reasonable for what I'm going through. And I don't know, maybe it's not good for my mental health right now to even be thinking about a path. Maybe I should just kind of have like a mental health reset. But man, it's just been tough because I'm so sad, you know, and I'm very happy with your encouragement. Y'all definitely made me feel a lot better, but there's just so much that has been lost, and like the pain that I feel from this is unbearable sometimes. But I'm glad that, you know, we all have these doubts, you know, we all have this, and I wish we didn't have these doubts, but man, it just shows that we're human for real. And I just really want to keep, you know, walking, keep stepping forward and living every day by day, and just, you know, coming up with something where, like, I gotta stop thinking so far in the future. I gotta stop thinking about the end goal. I gotta stop thinking there's a permanent thing I could do. You know, I could possibly learn cybersecurity now, learn tech support, get into that, and then eventually be like, you know what, this isn't for me, let me become a barber. All right, I could do anything. And I gotta stop closing my mind off to tech. But man, it was just a passion, man. I would love to make this into a career, but I'm okay with leaving it as a hobby though. I don't want that to be confused. I feel like in the last video I noticed that there was probably some confusion there. I do have a job now, and the job I have now is perfectly fine, but to me it just doesn't feel like my end goal. Like, I want something where it's something I could call like my career, and I could just always rise up in there, and not saying be at the same job, but just something where I currently, like, me having that experience can translate to the next one, you know? And I feel like I currently don't have that where I'm working at right now. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot, man. There's so many things that I could do. And, you know, especially too, because, and I don't want to make this like about, you know, this topic, but I feel like I've always been such like a bad decision maker ever since I was younger, because I was so used to like my dad making decisions for me. And it sucked because when he ended up dying, he died around a crucial time of my life where he was like, I was 17, and around that time, you know, you're graduating college, you're graduating high school. I'm not all over the place, I'm tired, but you're graduating high school, you're trying to figure out what you want to do next in life. And it was like, damn, like I couldn't even hear his logical side apart, like his logical side of that particular thing, of like where I should direct my life in a way. And I feel like that made me realize, like, it's really hard out here by yourself trying to figure out what to do in life. Like, it is hard, man. And I know I have a partner. My partner is very supportive and is very helpful, but you know, it just feels like you never really are making the right decision, because you never really know if it's right or not. And because of fear, we tend to just like pull back before even trying. And I think that's something I'm really trying to make myself do, is like, just try. There's no harm in trying. I'm 22 years old. I have all the time in the world to figure out what my career is. But when I keep putting these time limits on myself, that's when I'm doing too much. Like, and when I'm putting too much things on my shoulders, like eventually I would want to be a business owner. You know, like I think that would just be super cool. And I know I can study like anything. It's just really about executing everything, you know? So for me, it's kind of like, oh, I have all these dreams and goals like in the future. You know, I want to have kids. I want to have a house. I want to be able to pay, you know, their college tuition if they don't get a scholarship. Like, there's so many things that I would want to do that I would want to take care of. I want to help people. I want to give people opportunities. You know, I want to use it for good. And a part of me just feels like that life probably isn't going to end up happening for me. And I just get super discouraged, because it's not even like I want it for me. I literally want it for others, you know, the others, like other people that I love. And I know a lot of people have this feeling. A lot of people want to be the one that takes everybody out, right? But man, when you feel like you had that dream and that was going to be it, that was going to be the thing that helped everybody, and it turns out that it feels way farther than you think, like it's discouraging. You're like grieving a lifestyle you thought you were going to have. But I got to stop thinking like that. I got to really stop thinking like that. Like, in the end, from the way that I grind and the way that I'm disciplined, I feel like I know that I could do it in anything. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I feel like because I want it so bad and I'm willing to learn whatever I gotta learn, go to school for whatever, I'm willing to invest however much money I need into myself to make more money, I feel like in the end I will succeed. And I kind of just have to sit there and have faith in that, faith in the fact that God, you know, made me disciplined, faith in the fact that God is guiding me, faith in the fact that I will learn anything I need to be able to get better and be better, you know, have these dreams be succeeded. And I really believe it for myself, but it gets tough. So with my decision, it's like, I can't wait to tell y'all. I can't wait to tell y'all what I'm gonna do, but I'm just so iffy. Like, have y'all just ever felt so iffy on something, man? I don't know. And it's not like I want to quit. I mean, I do want to, to be honest. But it's not like I'm going to quit. I just am wondering, like, do I still want to go for the degree, the certs, projects, or am I gonna go something a little bit more stable, come back to this in the future? It's tough. It's tough. It is tough, man. I don't know. I just don't know.